Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? Yes, sirree. Testing 1, 2, 3.
You are now tuned in to the Hank McCoy Show. Subscribe, motherfucker.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Subscribe. Oh, yeah. I need to know what this sound like. What's the Lizzo saying? Hold up.
This Epstein file shit, I have to, it's really frustrating to me because there are 3 million files, right? 3 million documents in the files because over the course of however long this man has been.
It's actually more than that. I heard there's like 6, 7, 8, 9 million. There's probably a billion because they're all billionaires, just so you know.
Doing these crimes, every email, every text message, everything, just in general about this man's life has been put into these files to scan for illegal activities, right? Every text message you sent to somebody.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
If you
what he said.
Stole an apple from Walmart and you were on trial for stealing an apple from Walmart, is every person...
If you stole an apple from Walmart, you have bigger fish to fry. And if the court tries you for an apple at Walmart, we all have bigger fish to fry.
Your phone, an accomplice? Is every person in your phone, is every email you sent to a person or speaking about a person, does that make that person complicit? Does it?
Yes, it does.
Make that person a bad guy? No.
I'm joking.
No, it doesn't. And that's the same thing with the Diddy stuff. That was so, I told y'all, the media is so smart.
Now they need to stop comparing everything to Diddy. Yeah, we know Diddy was a sexual deviant, but he deviated under the guidelines of the law. One thing he didn't do or was accused of was doing anything with anybody that was underage, you know what I'm saying? Except for this one time, and it was Jay-Z that was actually involved with that too, so...
They're gonna make you so distracted with celebrity names that you're not gonna focus on the problem. You think every party that Diddy ever threw was a freak off and people were slipping and sliding on baby oil?
Yes,
no!
Absolutely. Wanna know why? Because we all know that when 10 o'clock rolls around, 11 o'clock rolls around, that kid's birthday party become the adult's party. Straight up. That's when the liquor come out. That's when the hoes come out. That's when the motherfucking, the yayo come out. That's when everything come out. So we all know what time it is.
That man had birthday parties. That man had Easter gatherings. That man had Super Bowl parties. That man had Christmas parties, Halloween parties, regular parties.
And they were all freak offs in the end of them, just so you know.
And so now they're saying Mom Donnie's mom, who's a filmmaker, they're like, oh, she's on the Epstein list because she was on a guest list for Ghislaine Maxwell's.
I think her name's pronounced Ghislaine, not Ghislaine. Ghislaine.
Like showing of a political film once. Hey, you're distracted. You just want Mom Donnie to be a bad guy or his mom.
He is. He's a politician. I'm pretty sure when I was growing up, we all knew that all the politicians are bad guys. If you're still in office and you've been in office for a long time, decades rather, that means you've been doing some of the most slime ballish activities that allowed you to stay there. Because the minute that you try to go up in there and you want to do something for the people, they all gonna look at you like, yo, we're the people. They're just peasants.
A girl can go to a movie premiere. Do you think Ghislaine Maxwell woke up every single day? Children? No. We're losing the plot.
Wait, what?
And it's just, it's,
hold on. What'd she just say? Hold up. Wait. Hold on. Let me go back a little bit.
no.
Yo,
We're losing the
just
plot.
came in here. Yo, hold up.
And it's just,
Peace to whoever just came in here. Hit that like button for me. Peace to y'all. Just testing my equipment.
losing the plot. And it's just like the American people in the comments. I knew she was wrong. Jay-Z, I knew he was. What did it say Jay-Z did? He was there in 1996. Come on, people. Like, y'all are falling for it. It's the
I mean, if you want to be realistic about it, right? If you want to try to find a tie between Jay-Z and Epstein and all that other shit, that tie could only be no other than Harvey Weinstein, most likely, like the devil himself. Okay, we all know that Jay-Z had a lot of dealings with Harvey Weinstein, right? Harvey Weinstein is most likely never getting out for SA. Okay,
easiest, oldest trick in the book. And honestly, I'm losing faith in the average intelligence of the American person. Because, come on, just because somebody's name is mentioned in a 3 million document file of a person's life.
Like I said before, they were saying that it's way more than 3 million. They were saying that it's like at least double that. 7 million, maybe 8, maybe 12 million, I heard.
Life who's been lived over crimes who've spanned decades doesn't mean that every single person is an accomplice. He could be mentioned. He referenced Jay-Z once. He was like, oh, we could learn from Jay-Z's business model. Why are y'all?
Nah, that's enough of her. We already seen that. But yo, check this shit out, yo.
In your thoughts on Donald Trump and what it means for what it means for mass incarceration.
You know what?
And bada boom, who is that? Bada boom, bada bing, bada boom. Who is this? Who is this? And why does Jay-Z look uncomfortable? Yo, as soon as they started talking about Donald Trump, this guy right here, who's that? Who is this guy? Hold on, let me see if I can. Hold on. Let me see if I can find out who this is, man. I need to be able to find out who this guy is. I gotta find out who this dude is, man. Hold on. Let me see who this is. Because he looks just like somebody that I know. You know what I'm saying? He looks like somebody that I've seen before. Let's see if I can find out who this guy is. Oh my goodness, who is that? Who is that? Yo, who is this? It's looking like it's Harvey Weinstein to me, right? Let's go to his Wikipedia. Okay. American former film producer and convicted of sex offenses. Okay. A whole plethora of them is what it's saying right here. Was sentenced to 16 years in the Los Angeles trial. Wow. 23. In May 2018, Weinstein was arrested and charged with R in New York City. In February 2020, he was found guilty of 2 of 5 felony counts. Weinstein was sentenced to 23 years in prison. And look at him. There he is right there with Jay-Z. So everybody talking about, oh, he doesn't have any ties to Epstein and all this other shit. But we already know that this guy, right? Harvey Weinstein, he's like wasn't he like best friends with Jeffrey Epstein?
My friend, we're here to talk about that and nothing else.
Look at that.
Then
You
can I
just
ask
called Jay-Z
mass incarceration?
Oh, hold on. I gotta rewind.
People.
Hold on. So how do I?
You think the movement is, in your thoughts on Donald Trump and what it means for what it means for mass incarceration?
Strawberry sauce.
This is a labor of love.
Yo, how you doing? Hopefully your day's going well. I'm doing my thing. I'm just testing out some stuff real quick. Let me know if you can hear me. Can you hear me good? Can you hear me well? Is the music too loud? Is it drowning me out? I was having some issues earlier when I did a pre-recording, and I was having a few issues earlier. Let's see. Okay, so it's working. We working. But yeah, Jay-Z is friends with Harvey Weinstein, and so isn't Oprah Winfrey. And Oprah Winfrey was one of Harvey Weinstein's biggest advocates during the Me Too movement, which is odd.
Jay,
No, I know.
and as a result, he's my friend. We're here to talk about that and nothing else.
Then can I
There's your tie right there. They're there to talk about Jay because he's Harvey Weinstein's friend, and they're not there to talk about nothing else. They don't want to talk about movies. They don't want to talk about food, and they most certainly don't want to talk about underage girls in SA events.
Can I ask you about mass incarceration? And do you think the movement is, in your thoughts on Donald Trump and what it means for what it means for mass incarceration?
You know what? This is a labor of love for Jay,
No, I know.
and as a result, he's my friend. We're here to talk about that and nothing else.
Then
Insanity.
You are now tuned in to the Ed McCoy Show. Subscribe and follow.
I wanted to do a quick reaction to this other thing. This is a big topic on the internet right here. I saw this. I be watching a lot of stuff while I'm at work or whatever, and I wanted to do reactions to some of the things that I see at work. So, this is feminist versus anti-feminist. So let's get into here and see what they got to say.
This conversation is often reduced to labels. In this episode of
Hold
The
on, let me
Bridge,
do something
feminist
real
and
quick. Hold on,
anti-feminist
hold on,
women
hold on.
sit face to face.
Let me see something. Let me crank it up a little bit. Okay. Check this out.
You want to file free?
Oh, they want to hit me with a commercial? That's crazy. That's mad loud too.
Traditional dropshipping is that
Oh, they
what we need to do is
double up.
register with AutoDS. The quickest, easiest.
And the first prompt is, women have more privileges today than men. Okay, anyone who feels strongly can speak.
I think women in many ways have more privileges, but they also have more oppressions. And I think both of these things.
Yo, peace to y'all. Hit that like button while you're in here. Let me know if you can hear me or not.
Significant oppressions, significant issues. And so while some of the privileges that we can identify, like courts tend to be lenient to them, for example, if there's a situation, for
This
example,
might be too
custody, women are
fast.
going to be favored in that situation. They also have less choice with their bodies, right? They have issues where with hiring, if they try to negotiate, they'll be seen as caustic and negative because they're kind of our stereotypical presumptions of how women have to be. And these things impact women significantly. That's just why I would say they have less political power.
Yo, the reason why I already watched this, right? I watched this while I was at work and I wanted to react to it. Yo, I want y'all to pay attention to this girl with the pink hair, right? Like, yo, when you dealing with people with different colored hair and then, they're older or whatever, they're probably like, 30, 35, 40. you got to be careful with people like that. You know what I'm saying? Because they got a whole different type of agenda. You know what I'm saying? Now, this discussion right here, this little debate is whether women believe that feminist is good or whether it's bad. It's feminist versus anti-feminist women. Okay. And immediately, as soon as it gets to the girl in the pink hair, she brings it to race. You know what I'm saying? Now I noticed that a lot of individuals, where a lot of discussions, they start off as one topic, but then it ends up being some race shit. Watch, you'll see what I'm saying.
Overall as well.
Well, just one of those things was not true in regards to custody decisions in this country. In fact, men are more likely to receive custody of their children if they ask for it. If men seek custody in a court in the United States of America, statistically, they are 90% likely to receive more custody or possibly even exactly what they were.
That isn't true. And see, this is why I don't like when people dig too far into the statistic thing, right? Because statistics, to me, they're set up as guidelines, right? They want you to believe certain shit, so you might act a certain way or do certain things at certain times. Now, we damn near know, right? Statistically, whenever there's a dispute or whatever, right? They want to separate the family. They don't want the mother and father together. Why? Because they're trying to get at them kids. Those kids are their meal ticket. And what they do is they use the kids, their meal ticket, to brainwash the mothers into getting the fathers out of the house. So they'll give them all types of government assistance, so on and so forth, welfare and all this shit, right? So that they could take care of themselves and the kids. Meanwhile, money, right, that's going for all that welfare and all that shit, all that money don't go to the mother and all that. Everybody's got their hands in it. And even further, now if it goes to the courts on child support, when they do the child support thing, the father's obligated to pay a certain amount of money or whatever to the mother per week or per month or however they do it. If the father doesn't pay that money, the father can either be taken into custody and locked up, or what they like to do is they'll suspend your license. So now you're unable to drive. Now, if you're a father and you work, you need to be able to have a way to get there and to get there on time. So if they take your license away, what you think's gonna happen? And then ultimately the father ends up in prison. This happens to black, white, Hispanic. It don't matter what color it is. It just happens because that's the way the system's set up. Now, this young lady with the pink hair, she wants to bring race and all this shit into it. So let's check this out. And hopefully, I forgot where it's at when she starts talking. Hopefully it's soon, because I just want you to see it for yourself.
We're asking for. I would just say that women are not more likely to receive custody of children in court. Men are. Women just are the ones who more receive custody in court.
It's true. It's only 4% of men fight for custody of their children.
And when they do, it's successful 90% of the time. So that would tell me the court actually favors men. I understand that there's like kind of this anecdote that family court does in fact favor women, but it just so happens that women are more likely to want custody of their children. And that's where that mythology comes from.
Now, see, you could tell by what she just said, women are more likely to have custody of to want their children more. That's a lie. That only a woman that doesn't like men would say some shit like that.
I would disagree. You mentioned that men get custody when they ask for it, and that presumes that women don't have to ask for it. Why does it?
What if you could taste the movies?
We turned
Yeah,
that
I'm
idea
sorry
into an
about the commercial.
$11.3
It only
million
happens on this channel.
It begin equal and men not having to ask for custody if they are actually full parents, just
Sure.
like the mom?
Sure, that's a great question. I think it's really important that we have a conversation that our laws are written by men. Our courts are ruled by men. So if you have some concern about what a court presumes, well, that's a conversation to have with men too. They're the ones who wrote the laws.
I saw you shaking your head.
I just know that my dad got custody of me because he asked for it, and it's a personal experience. It's not everything, but
Sorry, go ahead.
I completely agree that like all of the laws that we have, we can vote now, but we're still in a system that was designed by men. So a lot of the issues that we have, that men have, are because of the decisions that they made.
But why would you start out assuming 50-50, like that both parents want the kid? Because in a lot of cases, like men just aren't asking. So wouldn't you want to make the assumption that like the parent who pursues custody is the one who, one, feels empowered to, and two, wants to? Because I agree, like there is a system set up where men probably don't feel empowered to ask for custody of their children.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Whenever there's a breakup, a divorce or something like that, and kids are involved, the kids are used as a tool. They're used as a bargaining chip, right? Most men care about their kids. If you don't care about your kids, it's my personal opinion that you're a dirtball. With me, I care about my kids. And the right to see my children, I would always want that right. I would always want the right to be able to have free whatever I need to with my kids. I need to be able to raise them in my image. Do you understand? So all this men don't choose to have their kids, that's all bullshit. A lot of the guys that I saw that were going through these instances, all the time I used to see them complaining about how they can't see their kids, how they want to see their kids, how this is happening, how that's happening, how the court's making it so this. They have to pay this amount of money before they can see their kids. It's like, yo, that shit's fucking insane. Like, and it's all these type of, like, this feminist shit, man. That shit needs to stop. Like, they're talking about toxic masculinity. They're making normal things that we was raised on abnormal. If you show any type of testosterone, that could be considered toxic. Today's society is so delicate, and that's why we gotta have these discussions. You know what I'm saying?
Children, but I think that they should, first of all. But if there is a problem, like you can't just say, oh, it's fully the court system's fault. I think there is a culture that encourages young men to just say, oh, well, that's a woman's job. That's, not my job. Not, if the woman wants the kid, she can have the kid.
Now, there are many instances too on that flip side where dudes just don't want the responsibility, or they might have had a kid with somebody it wasn't compatible with, they don't get along with, maybe circumstances changed, or maybe it was a one-night stand or whatever it was, but it's just an unhealthy situation, you understand? But still, even if it's unhealthy, you can still create some type of healthy environment by going your separate way and still taking care of them kids, you know what I'm saying? Because that's the number one factor in here, is the kids.
And I don't know why a court would assume that a father just wants to be a father.
I was going to say, so wouldn't that culture that would put that on men be a result of feminism? Because men would probably prefer to have the women in their household. And also women are the ones that are more likely to engage in divorce. So men want to stay with these women.
And that's a fact. Now, if we're going to sit here and go by all these statistics and all that shit, it'd be the same statistics that come by back around and bite them in the ass. Because it's true. Women are most likely to be the ones, and I'm going to say her word, engage. And you're going to see how condescending these other women are over here towards this young black woman. When she uses the word engage, they kind of get, they say engage, like condescendingly, like we know what she meant, but whatever. Well, what she said was true. Women are more likely to be the ones to file for divorce and to engage in separations and all this other shit.
Oh, well, that's a woman's job. That's, not my job. Not, if a woman wants the kid, she can have the kid. And I don't know why a court would assume that a father just wants to be a father.
I was going to say, so wouldn't that culture that would put that on men be a result of feminism? Because men would probably prefer to have the women in their household. And also women are the ones that are more likely to engage in divorce. So men want to stay with these women.
Engage in divorce?
Yeah.
Like start divorce, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
You see how condescending them women were over there? They knew exactly what she meant, but they're intimidated by her, so they wanted to try to pick apart her words real quick, right? Because they know that she's about to come with some real facts and some truth, and whatever they could do to try to side rail that, they're gonna do it. And this pink-haired monster right here, she'll bring up race. Watch.
And men are the ones that actually stay because they want their family together. It is women that actually disrupt the family, and then they get
just one more screenshot and this SOP is finally done.
Upset with the results of a disrupted household. And also,
that's a fact what she just said. Men are more likely to want to stay and to more likely to want to work it out because they don't want to lose their families. You know what I'm saying? A man's family is like the only reason why he's moving. You take that away, shit. Niggas start going to jail. They start doing all types of unsavory things. You know what I'm saying? But you put a stable family around the man. You put a family around him. You give him his kids, and he settles right the fuck down. It's just biology. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think there is a culture that encourages young men to just say, oh, well, that's a woman's job. That's, not my job. Not, if the woman wants the kid, she can have the kid. And I don't know why a court would assume that a father just wants to be a father.
I was going to say, so wouldn't that culture that would put that on men be a result of feminism? Because men would probably prefer to have the women in their household. And also women are the ones that are more likely to engage in divorce. So men want to stay with these women.
Engage in divorce?
Yeah.
Like start divorce, is what you're saying.
Yeah. And men are the ones that actually stay because they want their family together. It is women that actually disrupt the family, and then they get upset with the results of a disrupted family.
Or they just want to keep the woman so that she's running the household. I don't know if it's necessarily I don't know. Men can't function as well without women as women can without a man. So
that's also not true. Because if we're going to go by the statistics again, what they're saying right now, right, today in statistics, if it was LGBTQ, right, they're saying that 2 women raising a child, the child grows up having all types of issues. Not to mention that inside the household is very volatile. They're saying that 2 women together have the highest domestic violence rate, period. This isn't racist or anything. It's just what it is. You can say black men beat on their women. You could say Mexican men beat on their women. You can say any type of Chinese, whatever, Asian guys beat on their women. But the statistics in America today, they're showing that the highest rates of domestic violence cases is coming from 2 women together. So, and honestly, you could tell, look at her face. She just looks volatile. She just Everything about her screamed volatile. This girl over here next to her with the purple tips, she don't know what she wants to do. Look at her arms. She got all types of hepatitis C tattoos. It was just like she just sat down one day and was just like, do whatever. Like homeboy was just practicing on her arms. And she's just following what the girl in the pink hair says because she's showing a little bit of strength. But that doesn't necessarily mean that she actually believes what she says. She's just allowing her to be the spokeswoman.
So I feel like when he hears divorce is on the table, it's going to disrupt his whole life a lot more. And I feel like that's really what they're thinking about.
So women do initiate divorce more. The issue is that they also initiate couples therapy. They also initiate seeking every single other alternative before divorce at basically the same rates as we see with divorce rates, right? So yes, women are divorcing. The issue is that like men accepting a loveless marriage with children who are miserable isn't like this thing that we should hold up and go, see, isn't this better? It's like actually all of this is unhealthy, right? It's unhealthy that men have been socialized in such a way that they don't think of themselves as fathers first, so they aren't asking for it, right? Whereas in this way, this is where women have been taught for both good and bad, that you are a mom, right? And I think we default to that, which is harmful to women. But we have to acknowledge that like women are seeking off-ramps in these relationships where divorce happens. And the same issues that they say for divorce are happening over and over and over again. And this is a systemic issue. It's not just women want to get out of their marriages. It's that women won't tolerate a loveless, empty marriage, which is not.
No. Today, it's definitely women just wanting to get out of their marriages today, for sure. They might have got married young or whatever, and, you know, maybe shit was hot and heavy in the beginning, and then over the years, 10, 20, however many years, 10, 15, they don't even last that long. It's usually within the first 2 years, they realize this isn't the person that I thought. Maybe they have affairs, maybe there's somebody at work, maybe, you know, they just see somebody else as better, or maybe they see themselves as better, but it's definitely them leaving the relationships for sure.
It's not even good.
Okay, so a loveless, empty marriage, how does the system contribute to what happens in your marriage?
Well, the way that we raise our boys, right, for example, is we teach them that your emotions are bad. So think about the way that we raise young boys. The most common way that young boys express their feelings, it's called externalizing. We see this in clinical data. The way that boys express their feelings, we teach them the only emotion you're allowed to have as a boy is anger. That's the only one allowed. But if you have anger, go to your room. Nobody wants to look at you or deal with you. And so what we've done.
I've never one time, I've raised 4 boys, 4 of them. And I got only 1 girl. We all live under the same roof. Never have once, if they've ever had a problem, have I told them, stop crying, go to your room. Never. I can tell that probably most of these people up here don't even have kids. So they shouldn't even be talking about kids if they don't even have them. The way that they talk, they're talking on like a clinical basis, like some clinical talk shit. And it's like, yo, yeah, those books can be good guidelines and references for things that you could watch out for. But to actually experience and know are 2 different things.
Done is we've taught men that their feelings aren't okay, that if they have them, they're isolated and weak for having them. And so the only alternative for them is anger or anhedonia, a complete like emptiness and vacuousness. And so in this
really true, because look at where we are today in America. People are free to do whatever the fuck they want to do. You can have whatever type of feeling that you want to have. And people have segregated themselves into certain groups or whatever to enhance those feelings. You have LGBTQ, they want to enhance them feelings. You got the incel club with like the dude Myron Gaines and Nick Fuentes and them type of dudes. You got all these fucking Andrew Wilson, those type of dudes. Like they all group up into their own fucking subcategories of human beings or whatever. And that's it. You can't just sit there. A woman can't just sit there that doesn't have, I know she doesn't have any kids just by how she's talking. Sit there and talk about raising kids and what a man is, what. Like, honestly, when I'm hearing her talk, I'm feeling like this is what she believes, what she wants, how she would raise kids or whatever if she had them. And women are confused. They don't know what the fuck they want. I mean, us men know what you need, most of us. But y'all don't really be knowing what y'all need. You can't. It's a line where you get confused about between what you need and what you want. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you end up in divorce and all this other shit. This is why we have these problems. It's because we can't get on the same page.
Well, women do say it, you know, so I mean, I don't understand why it's always like the men, because the men aren't emotional, because the men aren't this. Like, the women are the ones that want to leave. So
women want to leave, and maybe we should ask them why, because men are responsible for 90% of the violent crime in the U.S. Like, we always talk about women and what we should be doing. I really can't. I talk about feminism a lot, and I get so sick of it because I don't know why we're not talking about men. We're always focusing on women and what we should be doing and what we shouldn't be doing because with men, they're responsible for 95% of domestic violence, 93% sexual assaults and pedophilia, 88% homicides, 85%.
You see how she's gonna sit here and blurt out a bunch of statistics that aren't true? Because the statistics show 2 women, and you could look this up on any website, any fucking chat GPTs, any AI tool that you need to give you the statistics of which couples are most violent, which households have the most violence, and it's gonna tell you that it's 2 women together. I'm sorry to say that, but it's the truth. And there's many reasons why. Many reasons why.
Want to leave, and maybe we should ask them why, because men are responsible for 90% of the violent crime in the U.S. Like, we always talk about women and what we should be doing. I really can't. I talk about feminism a lot, and I get so sick of it because I don't know why we're not talking about men. We're always focusing on women and what we should be doing, what we shouldn't be doing because with men, they're responsible.
No, so I mean, I don't understand why it's always like.
Watch, she gets all up her panties in a bunch because she really wants to say she hates men so bad, but she don't want to say it on this platform because people are gonna be like, oh well, because you're just a typical fucking feminist. You hate men.
The men, because the men aren't emotional, because the men aren't this. Like, the women are the ones that want to leave. So
women want to leave, and maybe we should ask them why, because men are responsible for 90% of the violent crime in the U.S. Like, we always talk about women and what we should be doing. I really can't. I talk about feminism a lot, and I get so sick of it because I don't know why we're not talking about men. We're always focusing on women and what we should be doing, what we shouldn't be doing because with men, they're responsible for 95% of domestic violence, 93% sexual assaults and pedophilia, 88% homicides, 85% serial killings, 98% of mass shootings.
I just want to bring something to, and she has a point on some of the things that she was just saying, some of the accusations, the pedophilia shit. I think men got that to, you know, a super high level degree. Like, they have the most offenses, I believe, because men have the most money. You know what I'm saying? And they're, you know, the billionaires, they love their pedophilia and stuff like that. But I've been seeing a lot on social media, on the internet, in the news. I've been seeing a lot of teachers, a lot of women teachers that are essaying their students. This is like it's been going on for a few years now. And you know, I thought it was like just like a couple of isolated cases, but if you go do some research, it's like a regular fucking thing, and nobody's really catching on to this. So I think maybe she needs to go do a little bit of research on that and see what the statistics are on that.
Could I go on? 77% of assaults. They are responsible for so much, and then we sit here and want to make women feel bad for wanting to leave that man. I don't know why we always are focusing on women all the time.
Well, because their solution is always to leave. It's never to
Not
stay.
always. Sometimes they want to have therapy, and the man doesn't want to do that.
Therapy.
If a man's beating your ass, you should leave him. Or have your fucking cousins, your father, or somebody go talk to him and set him straight, if you know what I mean.
It's such BS because you go to a couples therapist and they say, oh yeah, you should leave your husband.
That's not always true.
Yes, that is
Have you been to couples
always the
therapy?
solution. No, and I will not go to
okay, so you're
couples
just making
therapy.
assumptions.
I've heard so many stories. I see it. I've seen it online.
Yeah, if you have a marriage and couples counselor and they are just recommending divorce, which is not true. I've gone to marriage counseling and they didn't recommend divorce. If they're doing that off the hop, that would be unethical. You can actually report them for that. They're trained for more than this. A marriage counselor got trained to see marriages be happy, right? The thing that they want is a fixed
That isn't true. Like, and especially like a marriage is like, it's a contract. That's why you gotta have all the papers and you gotta sign papers and all that. That's why the taxes and all that shit's different or whatever when you're married. So all this shit that she's saying right now is just a bunch of fluff. It's fucking lies, yo. Straight up.
rectified marriage. Sometimes that can happen for a number of reasons. However, the idea that marriage counselors are just telling women to divorce their husbands is so far from any of the literature that reports on this, so far from the ethics these people are trained on, is basically taking an entire field of care workers and saying, you actually just want to destroy the thing that you care for, which is just, it's just not true.
Okay, I need to ask a question to both sides. So, ladies on this side, do you believe that the gender gap pay is still real?
No, it's not. That's been debunked so many times.
Okay. And ladies on this side.
Oh, no, ask
I want to
Oprah.
hear from you on this side.
I think it's real if you just look at statistics. A lot of people say like, oh, well, women are just choosing different jobs. And it's like we're raised to idealize different jobs. But even then, it's like women, if you have a child, you're now also working and you have a child, you're not going to work as much. So it's like that's to blame. The gender pay gap is huge. And the whole, I think it's like 75 cents on the dollar is just for white women. It's less for Hispanic women. It's less for black women. Like
That's a fact.
Changes.
That's a
It's
fact,
very-
You
yo.
think that they're choosing?
Yo, that's a fact. I got her on that. She's right about that. It definitely varies. You know what I'm saying? Definitely varies, but women definitely have a lot more than what they ever had before. They have the opportunity to get to where they need to do, where they need to go. A lot more than they ever had back in the past. But it's still not enough, I don't think, to be honest with you. They don't make it easy for them. But in the same sense, being a black man, they don't make it easy for me either. And I noticed that in America, most white women, I'm pretty sure they're making more money than black men. But that's a whole different topic.
Like hospitality jobs because they were raised that way, or because women just naturally like those jobs?
Well, like let's say like nursing. Nursing used to be a male-only profession. They wouldn't let women work on women's bodies at all. Became more female-dominated, and now men don't even want to be in that profession. So then they lower the pay because it's a woman's job. Same thing with teaching. It used to be just a male-only job. We wouldn't let women teach. Women got into it. Suddenly the pay drops for it.
That makes
And not
sense.
to mention, in addition
That makes sense.
to things like the gender pay gap, we also now see that women majority professions are being attacked education-wise, as the Trump administration just made it so that you can't consider nursing a professional degree. Audiology is no longer a professional degree. Yeah, and making it harder for you to get student loans because they've maxed out how much you can get in student loans. And all of these affect women more than it affects men. Well, if you're a chiropractor, great job. That's still a professional degree because that's a job that most men would seek. But if you're gonna be a nurse, well, that's a job most women would seek. Now you don't get to have a loan for the amount that you need. That's an example of a gender pay gap. That's an example of like what happens when you're taking opportunity away from women and women not making as much or being given as much in a loan or whatever.
Grammarly is a must-have for all students. Grammarly's free
I agree
features
with a
help
lot
with
of
that
that.
initial writer's block by helping me brainstorm.
I'll agree
initial
with that.
Do you on this side feel that you can support women and not identify with the feminist movement?
Not if you like pants. My mom went to school, and until middle school, she had to wear a skirt every single day. That is one generation. That is my mother. If you're wearing pants, you get to wear those in public because people like my mother were part of.
I mean, Because of pants? Come on, man. That's your argument?
The feminist movement.
I would respectfully disagree here, right? So like I worked in an addiction center. That was an addiction counselor formerly. It was for women. It was a Christian center, right? What you'll often see is that some of the most like dominant nonprofits for women are often.
If she was an addiction counselor, the best addiction counselors were counselors that were former addicts that were addicted. So if that's the case, she was on drugs or something at one point in her life.
Religious in nature, and that tends to lean towards like the right side.
If she was on drugs or whatever substances she was on, I had heard her previously talk about her going through marriage counseling and all this other shit. That's probably the reason why your marriage didn't work out, was because you was on drugs, shorty.
Most of the people that I work with didn't identify as feminists. They obviously help women. I also obviously disagreed with them on a lot of stuff. I think that when women dislike feminism, it's because they have issues with specific feminists, or they, in my mind, have like some misinfo that they believe in, right? But like, of course, you can be like a person who cares about women and not identify as a label. I would just say, come to my side. Like, you probably do agree fundamentally with my presumptions about what feminism should be for and what it is.
Anyone have anything to say about that on this side? As far as being a feminist and supporting women, I don't think the feminist movement supports women at all. I think it actually harms them. It's told us that sexual exploitation is empowering and that we should kill our offspring if it's an inconvenience to our life, and that marriage and family are not important anymore. I mean, it's completely destroyed everything that's been unique about womanhood.
So the alternative is like, let me get my ass beat, take my Xanax, and raise these kids when I don't want to. Like, what's the alternative?
No, the alternative is, if you was a good enough woman, a smart enough woman, you would know, like, yo, this is the person I want to be with, and this is the person I don't want to be with. It's a reason why you stay in them type of relationships, because all the signs are shown relatively soon. After a few months of living with somebody, you're gonna know, like, yo, you're gonna know a lot more about a person, you know what I'm saying? But in the same sense, it be the way that how you pick the person up, where you meet them and stuff. If you're just meeting people at fucking bars or clubs or whatever, some type of function like that, 9 times out of 10, the person might not be the one for you. If you're going on internet dating sites, doing these quick link ups and all this other shit, all that shit, that's not the way to meet somebody good. You might meet somebody good at like maybe a grocery store, Walmart even. I don't know about Walmart. Maybe you might see somebody working at a restaurant or something. Maybe you might meet him at the gym. But I could tell she just has horrible taste in who she chooses to mate with. Just look at the way that she's dressed. Look at her hair. Look at her attitude. Look at her posture. Just screams volatile.
Alternative for women who aren't happy at home. Like, that's what I don't understand.
Women are pill popping more now than they were in the 50s. They're more depressed than they were. Yes, this is completely.
And men are 4 times, women, yes, 2 times more likely to be on antidepressants than men. Men are 4 times more likely to kill themselves.
Why do you think that we're more likely to be on antidepressants?
Capitalism, the way the world is, the economy. I'll tell you right now, the economy controls the mood of the country. The mood of the country sucks because of the economy. Capitalism is the actual enemy here, not feminism. Feminism was just a human rights movement, like the civil rights movement. Black people should have equal rights. What's the difference between a woman and a black person?
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. She just could not wait, as do everybody else. They just can't wait to bring us into this motherfucking shit. What the fuck do we got to do with this type of shit? Right? Every discussion, every single discussion leads back to, well, black people. And you know what? I do. I get it in a way, because, you know, the first people on earth, on the face of the fucking earth, were black. They were from Ethiopia. So I get it. I understand. It's just like, yo, isn't it enough already? Like, can't you just have an argument and stay on the fucking topic? Or just be like, yo, I don't have an argument for that. Not, oh, well, Trayvon Martin, blah, blah, blah. Like, get the fuck out of here with this shit.
At home. Like, that's what I don't understand.
Women are pill popping more now than they were in the 50s. They're more depressed than they were. Yes, this is completely.
And men are 4 times, women, yes, 2 times more likely to be on antidepressants than men. Men are 4 times more likely to kill themselves.
Why do you think that we're more likely to be on antidepressants?
Capitalism, the way the world is, the economy. I'll tell you right now, the economy controls the mood of the country. The mood of the country sucks because the economy. Capitalism is the actual enemy here, not feminism. Feminism was just a human rights movement like the civil rights movement. Black people should have equal rights. What's the difference between a woman and a black person? It's just a matter of, no, you want equal rights as a human because you should have them. I should have them too, right? It was just a human rights movement. It was focused on the gender, and then we focused on the race, and we all came up. I don't know why.
What's funny is, like, a lot of people have rights solely because of black people. Because we were treated like fucking trash. Because black people weren't even considered human beings at one point. But for some reason, like, it's just weird how if we weren't considered human beings at one point, why even try to compare yourself to us? Why use us as references?
Everyone can't come up together.
Yeah, I feel like there's a huge misnomer on what feminism is. Feminism is not me telling you to go abort your...
Did I just see something over there? The 2 other girls? Hold up.
Enemy here, not feminism. Feminism was just a human rights movement like the civil rights movement. Black people should have equal rights. What's the difference between a woman and a black person? It's just
her and her, I think. Yo, she's definitely appalled. She's like, what? Like, oh, she's looking at these two. These two are like, yo, oh, this is cracking right now.
Just a matter of, no, you want equal rights as a human because you should have them. I should have them too, right? It was just a human rights movement. It was focused on the gender, and then we focused on the race, and we all came up. I don't know why everyone can't come up together.
Yeah, I feel like there's a huge misnomer on what feminism is. Feminism is not me telling you to go abort your firstborn son. I don't care what you do with your body.
Yo, the girl with the pink hair is racist, and she hates men too. Like, she must have a terrible fucking life, man.
Depressed than they were. Yes, this is completely.
And men are 4 times, women, yes, 2 times more likely to be on antidepressants than men. Men are 4 times more likely to kill themselves.
Why do you think that we're more likely to be on antidepressants?
Capitalism, the way the world is, the economy. I'll tell you right now, the economy controls the mood of the country. The mood of the country sucks because the economy. Capitalism is the actual enemy here, not feminism.
Yo, how come in other countries, right, where they don't have a great economy and they're poor, they still find time to smile. They still find joy in their work. They still have a family unit. So I'm just gonna disagree with her about money controls the fucking tempo and the environment of people's emotions and all this other shit. That's bullshit. Maybe in her world, yeah, and other people's worlds too, because I know there's a substantial amount of people that are gonna agree with her. But anybody who thinks past money and actually values human beings would strongly disagree.
Feminism was just a human rights movement like the civil rights movement. Black people should have equal rights. What's the difference between a woman and a black person? It's just a matter of, no, you want equal rights as a human because you should have them. I should have them too, right? It was just a human rights movement. It was focused on the gender, and then we focused on the race, and we all came up. I don't know why everyone can't come up together.
Yeah, I feel like there's a huge...
She would have been better at a fucking Klan meeting, because she sucks up here.
Misnomer on what feminism is. Feminism is not me telling you to go abort your firstborn son. I don't care what you do with your body. Feminism is you have the opportunity to do what you want because of, you have a bank card because of feminism, you get to wear pants because of feminism, you get to have a job because of feminism, you get to get out of the house if you want to because of feminism. This is not about like...
No, that's really because of black people. Because none of this feminist shit would have even happened if it wasn't for black people and minorities. That's where everything derived from, like all the laws and shit. LGBTQ, all that shit, like all those rights, all that shit. That all started because black people were fighting to just be human beings.
You're trying to control your life.
No disrespect to any races out there either, because I enjoy every single person, whatever race you are. To me, you're a person.
There's more room for people who are anti-feminist in the world of feminists than there is for people like me in your world. I don't care if a person wants...
Switch to TurboTax and file your own taxes free in the app if you didn't file with us last year. Just file with TurboTax.
To go have children their whole life, and that's what they want to do. Most of my friends are stay-at-home moms. Many of my extremely liberal friends are stay-at-home mothers. And do you think I denigrate their decision to sacrifice their life for their children?
Yo, what's so wrong about being a stay-at-home fucking mom? You get to fucking do all the fucking chores at home, right? Which is probably a lot. Clean the house, cook dinner, and then fucking whatever, you know what I'm saying? You find your time wherever you find your time. Maybe go out with your girlfriends or whatever after you're done cleaning, whatever it is. Pay the bills, make sure that, you know, the money that's coming in, the bills are getting paid. Taking the kids to their practices, soccer games or whatever, doctor's appointments, you know what I'm saying? Everybody has to play their fucking part, because while the woman's doing that, the man's outside fucking in whatever type of weather, in whatever type of conditions, dealing with whatever type of boss, dealing with whatever type of co-workers, all to put some bread on the table. Everybody's got their part. I don't understand why that's such a hard fucking thing, and that women want to decide, well, we don't need any of that.
Absolutely not. I'm a mother myself, but I also want to have the opportunity to work if I want to, because for me, that's where I find happiness. There is space for you in our movement, but there is no space for us.
And there's nothing wrong with that either. Women should be able to have careers as well. Because the way that I look at it, shit, more money coming in, that's less strain off my fucking back. Any logical man is gonna be like, yeah, I mean, hell yeah, you got a good job, that's great. Because it isn't about us individually, it's about us as a unit and us maintaining that family orient and making sure that the children that we raise are good people.
In yours. We're inclusive. Feminism is not telling you what to do with your life.
Yeah, you
Feminism
can
is letting you
get married,
do
whatever
what you want with your life.
Sorry, I agree though, I agree. Do whatever you want with your life.
Feminism is letting you do what you want with your life. And I don't want to tell you not to get married when you're 19 and pop out 7 kids if that's a thing that's going to be happy for you. But I want to offer people the opportunity.
Well, you want to know what feminism does? It tells you focus on the career. So what women have been doing is they've been focusing on the career and putting the family and the children and all that shit as their last step. And what's been happening is that women are finding it hard to have children at 35, 36, 40, 45 years old, because they done wasted the 20, 25 years on their careers. I told the story before about this kid I used to play football with, Chris Cassidy. His father was like 62 years old, and we were only like fucking 12. All his brothers were all in their 40s and 50s. Well, excuse me, mid 30s and 40s. So it was fucking strange, man. Like going to his house or whatever. I remember the first time I went over, and he was diabetic, and we were outside playing football and shit. And he was like, "Oh, I gotta go inside or whatever. You guys want to get a drink? I gotta go get a granola bar." He used to eat the granola bars or whatever to get his sugar right. So we went in there, you know, and we're kind of like raiding the cabinets or whatever. He grabs his granola bars. We're drinking. We're drinking and all that stuff, getting drinks. And somebody's like, "Yo, who's that? Is that your grandfather or whatever?" And he was like, "Oh no, it's my dad." And the dude was just super duper old. He was like Count Dracula's age and shit. But yeah, yo, let me get up out of here. I got some other things to do. I'll come back maybe later on. Let me know if you can hear me or whatever. Hit the like button. Hopefully you enjoyed this. And I'll be back with some more content. Thank you guys for fucking pulling up for me. Peace to you.